Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. The best live show / let's play, let's read, podcast, vlog that catalogs the entire video game industry. Welcome everyone to May 1982, where we last played Super Alien on the Commodore VIC-20. And don't be confused, Super Alien is just Hyunkyo Alien at home if you want to play some top-down maze digging up style game. So the VIC-20 at this point is really on top of their game. I was saying the Apple II was one of the best computers at the time, or bestseller. At this point, VIC-20 is inching its way, if not right up to the Apple II, it's beyond the Apple II. And after we showcase the VIC-20, let's press forward and see our next game. We're next going to the hot new console in town, the Arcadia 2001, and this is Turtles or Turpin. And I find it hard to believe they put both names on there because Turpin was the name in Japan when it was in the arcades, and Turtles is what we got in North America. This was the end of last year, 1981, and then the Turtles version in the arcade just came out in 1982. All right, so here we go. Let's see what we got for Turtles or Turpin on the newest console. Poorly named, though. Arcadia 2001. What was that, a year? There's no other version of the Arcadia, by the way. This is all we got. Let's take a look at the artwork that we have for Turtles or Turpin, starting with the box. This one is a reconstructed one, but kind of taking the homage that we saw in the arcades. The Turtles on the front cover, going up a ladder. Don't think that was in the arcades. If we flip it over in the back of the box, I think, yeah, we got nothing. Only reconstructed ones. No scans of this one. Kind of hard to come by. Any other artwork we have for Turtles or Turpin on the Emerson Arcadia 2001. Never had this one myself. The Arcadia 2001 is a little obscure. It's coming a little late. Shouldn't really say too late because ColecoVision's coming out soon. And this one is another one kind of got under the radar and also released in lots of regions. Lots of different names it goes by. So does it live up to what we have out there with like Intellivision and Atari? So far, not so much. We don't have a manual for this one, so let's pop in and play some Turtles or Turpin for the Emerson Arcadia 2001. Developed by Konami, just like in the arcades, beginning of May 1982. Yeah, there we go. Gosh, we're blinded by how many colors this can have on the Arcadia 2001. Yeah, I did see ads for this, but nobody I knew had this one. All right, so the Turtles game is a top-down maze game, just like Pac-Man. You can see it's by Konami, though. I would like to know, really, if they did program this one, or they just used the idea that they had in the arcades and then brought it here. All right, so as usual with these kind of systems, when you boot it up, it's starting with looks like an attract mode, and you push reset or game options. So I'm going to try the options. Oh, that's nice. So it's like switching the level, I think, but it's not really going to change the gameplay. So no different modes like it has on Atari, but when we're ready to play, we push reset on the system, put that Arcadia 2001 controller. Oh, it's actually doing the attract mode now. I'm not in the game. I have to do the reset. Yeah, this is not me playing. Okay, now we're in. I can't take any credit for that one. They didn't make it very much like an arcade game. That's nice. Doesn't look like a turtle at the beginning, though. Okay, so here we go. We're starting off in the main game, and the way this is played is very similar to the arcade so far. I'm being chased by one of the other cars on the street. Don't get run over by the turtle. You pick up the question mark blocks. Kind of reminds me of something from Mario. You know, you break open something, you don't know what's inside, and you're trying to get your baby turtles rescued. There you go. Get on the back, and then after you get the baby turtle, hey, this is different. I do have a power-up that I can drop. You can see I can drop a little pellet, and it causes the cars to go insane. But this is different than the arcades. In the arcades, when you picked up one baby turtle from the question mark block, that's it. A house showed up and you moved to the next level. But now, this is... I'm still not getting the next level. I'm just going around, continuing to try to find... Oh, I'm going to get caught there. Will it get... Oh, nice. Okay, I barely made it past that one. Lots of flicker, though, on this one. Oh, we do have an opening that came up. I'm going to try to sneak by. There we go, and you make it to the next floor. So, a little different. You don't just pick up one baby turtle. You're trying to get as many as possible until it decides to open up. So there you go, move on to the next level. All your baby turtles have been kidnapped. Gotta go catch them all. Another one of those Pac-Man variants. Still popular now. I would say this one is it's okay considering the other maze games that are available, but because you seem to be more vulnerable than other maze games, I wouldn't give Turtles the biggest nod to how good it is, but this is a really good, faithful port, and the first one we've seen of Turtles you could play at home. And this is official, too. This isn't recreated or made up. I just don't see... I'm used to getting one baby turtle, and then oh, there you go. It just opened up. So I'm random, I guess. Gosh, blinded by the colors, though. Yeah, I don't think it was a car in the arcade either. Because the enemies were they were beetles. They weren't cars, so they did change that up. Cars make sense, though. Why would a turtle want to run away from beetles? At this point, though, we're doing a lot of imagination in the games. So what we saw in the arcades, there's always speculation. Did you ever have kids or friends whenever you played the arcade game or console game, especially on the Atari, you'd play the game and someone would say, well, that's a spear. And you're like, no, it's not. That's a sword. No, it's a spear. At this point, it could be anybody's game. You can say make it whatever you want. They were very big beetles. So we didn't have the manual, but there is no other game modes. It is just deciding on which level you want to start on, possibly just getting difficulty, more cars, enemies chasing you, and it is random. Sometimes you get a baby turtle that'll jump in your back, and then sometimes it'll be another car that pops out. Yep, there it is, and it got me. I even saw it coming. Yes, they do. We've already seen a big influence of Japan with the video games so far in the industry. We are doing a global perspective, and oh, you got another one? Let's see if we can knock him out. There we go. So whenever we see these games, the Japan arcades have been, God, another one that got me, have been really good at sending us some new concepts and ideas that honestly get ripped off really well in Europe and the United States. Okay, we got one more left. Still haven't got that. By the way, the arcade had a house that the turtle went to, and here on the Arcadia 2001, it's just a door that opens. I also feel like I have a little bit more control over the power-ups, because what I'm dropping to stop the cars, it's letting me do multiple. In the arcades, it seemed I only had one I could do at a time. They were a lot more stingy. Oh, yes, Pingo will come from Japan. Oh, yeah. There was so much in 1982. Big shift where we see more in Japan. The biggest, though, is going to happen in 1983. I'll leave one right there. Oh, he didn't fall for it. Does this mean I can drive over it? Okay, nice, yeah. So it is the game Turtles, but there's enough there's small differences that does make it an exact port. So I'd be surprised if this really was done by Konami. All my sources I've seen say it was Konami that did the development for this one. Not gonna make it out of this. Go, go, go. Nope, didn't make it. Not gonna happen. Alright, so that was Turtles, Turpin, if you're in Japan or North America. For the arcade version, we said above average for all the games you can see at this point. And by the way, for those joining us and want a refresher, when you do the rating system on our channel, just got to ask yourself a few questions. Do you say if this is a broken game, then you do this range, around the 1-star range. If you say, well, this game is a bad game, you'd be around this range, depending on your preference. If you say this is a game that's average, something pretty typical you'd see for a console, because we're on a console, in 1982, would you be around this range? If you tell yourself this is a really good game or excellent game for 1982, you'd be around this range. And if you say this is one of the best video games you could play on a console, you'd be around here. I'd say for Turtles, the same way in the arcades, it's above average. We gave 3.5 stars on the arcade. We're going to do 3.5 stars here on the Arcadia 2001. Excellent. An above average title, still you're doing that maze craze and fun to play. If you had the console at the time. And with that, let's press forward and see our next game. We're on the home computer, the Texas Instruments home computer, TI-99-4A. And, oh, poor Timmy isn't doing well at school still. Actually, he's not sad because he's doing bad at school. He's sad because this is another title, Voodoo Castle, that we do not have. A copy that was on, you can see, cassette to play on your TI-99-4A. and I couldn't find the copy of this, but don't feel too bad. Voodoo Castle is another one that's by Scott Adams, text-only adventure game that you can play on your TI-99. Still no graphics. The only ones we've seen of the graphic version of the Scott Adams remastered games is on the Apple II. So this one's the text-only Voodoo Castle. I believe this is the 4th or 5th time we've seen Voodoo Castle, but we can't pop in and play the TI-99 4A version of Voodoo Castle just because I couldn't find it. If you want to find it, or you're a big stickler of seeing every Scott Adams version on every computer, then send it my way. Otherwise, we'll just say of all the games we've seen up to this point, it's the same pretty similar formula, and TI-99 4A isn't doing anything particular different or better. And because we are not playing it, I'm going to go 2 stars for Voodoo Castle. Another text adventure game. We are so deep into text adventure games. There's so many that we're going to be playing. All right, so with that, let's press forward and see our next game. All right, on the Apple II, this is Laf Pak. Now, we read Softline magazine, and in that magazine, there was a few games that I didn't know existed, and this is one of them. Turns out Laf Pak was categorized as a compilation of games. And whenever you break down computer games obviously have software, applications, but then you also want to know, well, where's all the games? And sometimes they break apart games into educational games, demos, and the demo scene of games, and then also the compilation of games. And so Laf Pak was in one of those groups of, it's a compilation. And we typically don't hit on compilations because, if you play the individual game, why play the compilation? But Laf Pak is the only commercial release of all these games inside that you couldn't get by themselves. So it is a compilation, but they're all new games, and it was released in 1982. So ignore the date just so we can get it on our timeline here, but Laf Pak was 1981. Let's take a look at the box for Laf Pak. Yeah, online systems. So at this point in 1982, there's Sierra online systems. You see, we need 48K on our Apple II for this one in machine language, and it is by Chuckles, or Chuck Bucci. I don't know how to pronounce his last name correctly. Very nice front of the box because there's 4 different games, all 4 of them being displayed on the front of the box. Let's flip it over in the back, and it has the history of Chuckles. Or Chuck. Not too long ago, life in the land surrounding the castle of Lord British was very different. The villagers and farmers that inhabit the area spent their days without the happiness we've come to accept it as a necessity in everyday life. Many in the lands have never known the joy of hard belly laugh, and it is said that some little boys and girls in the village often went to bed hungry for a giggle and a grin. This is hilarious. This is an inside joke because Chuckles, the developer, used to work with Richard Garriott, or Lord British, doing the games for Akalabeth and Ultima. And here it is, they're explaining the tale of how Chuckles went from working with Lord British and moved to Sierra Online, where he's did this game. And now the new relationship exists between Lord British of England and Kim Williams of Online. Chuckles has decided to bring his gifts to the online customer. His special gift just for you has high-res color graphics, smooth animation, and fantastic sound effects. His gift to you be the joy of laughter as he gives to you his Laf Pak. Yeah, because his name is Chuckles. So, inside jokes on the back of a box that you're going to sell. This is 1982. If that doesn't tell you anything, it's fantastic. Let's see what other arc we have for Laf Pak. We also have the 5 1/4 floppy disk will be popping in by Online Systems, an example of the screenshot. And we have the manual. Well, it's just the inside sleeve. Had a couple things about how to play the game. It boots from any 48K Apple II DOS. 3.3, insert the disk, type in you want to play, and then here's our 4 games: Creepy Corridors, Apple Zap, Space Race, and Minesweep, with instructions on how to play. And you can see some of them have keyboard only. You can see how to move the joyport or joystick. Oh, see, control I's to switch between keyboard or joystick on some of them, and some of them are paddle control. You can see Space Race is, and then Minesweep. So we think it's Minesweeper, but it's really something else. We'll see what happens. If we need to, we'll look at the controls on the manual. But in the meantime, let's pop into play a Laf Pak by Chuckles. In the beginning of, actually, this is 1981 when this one came out. And we're a little spoiled here on the show. We play every game as soon as it comes out, so technically people were still playing this in 1982. So it's not that old. But just because we usually get the best of the best right when it comes out, this was 1981. All right, so select the game we want. Let's start with Creepy Corridors. Very nice intro. Grabs the game, puts it in the fun machine. Love it. This is one I'm not familiar with. I really enjoy the games that Chuckles makes. I'm glad we were able to find this one, play it, and showcase the Laf Pak here on Chronologically Gaming. All right, so the first one is a top-down maze-style game. Now, it plays like an arcade game. It's going in track mode now. This isn't me playing. At least I hope it's not. No, it's not. And you have you can move around the maze. You can also fire your gun. Wow, we have talking too? That is awesome. And you're just supposed to collect all the diamonds, shoot the enemies or the aliens, and then move your way to the next level. You can see it's level 1, so let's go. Now, if I do Control-I, will that work? Oh, it does. Let's see. We want joystick. And return. Oh, nice. So we got our joystick plugged in. Apple II joysticks in there. Let's go. Goes in the maze. Oh, very nice. Where's my fire? Very good. Control feels really good. And this is just one of the games of 4 that you could play. We'll move our way to the top. Get some diamonds up there. Love this. Switching around. Let's play... That's pretty good. That's not just it's not a Wilhelm scream, but man, it's awesome. Oh, and that sound effect, that brings back, I keep having this happen. I'm playing these games on the show, and I hear sounds that I think are from certain games, but they've come out earlier. So here it is. That sound effect is really reminiscent of Apogee style games that you could play on IBM PC. And it was a diamond, too. They have the presentation showing you your character at the top of the screen moves down. This is a great title in itself. So you pick up all the diamonds, move to the next room. There's the door. Got it. Love it. But let me hear that sound again. It sounds like one of the sound effects on the whenever you shoot the alien, like the death of in Crystal Caverns by Apogee specifically. There's some other ones by Apogee. You see what this guy's doing. He's trying to do... Man, the sample of that scream is excellent. I love it. It's too good of us. I wonder if that's Chuckles that's doing the scream sound. Looks like I have how many shots? Okay, 1 shot at a time. Oh, I don't know. And it builds. It's a scream that builds. That's great. Yeah, no volume control. Very good shout out, L. Curtis B. That's a good point. That's why it surprises me. And this was 81 when this one came out. So there you go. All the diamonds on level 2. We're really low on lives. Only 1 life at the top. I like how the character comes out as the life's done. It should have been. It sounds really similar. But I'd be willing to bet it's just Chuckles making the sound effect. There's no one else credited with the game. However, Online Systems does credit whoever does the work on the front of the box. But as far as development, this is it. All sounds. And you can see, typical of Apple II, there's that sound effect. The Apple II games have not a lot of music. It's all silent right now. And you see we're getting different enemies to fight. Getting all the diamonds here. I love top-down maze games that give you the fire shot, too. It just a great idea. Plays really well. And after going from Turtles, I would give this the nod as the better title. And bear in mind, this is the compilation. This is 1 game out of the 4. So good. All right, so there you go. That is the first title out of the 4 on this pack. Let's see them all. What else does Chuckle have? After Creepy Quarters, let's see what Apple Zap is like. Pushing number 2. Let's get Apple Zap in the fun machine. Man, so creative. Love the presentation. Oh my gosh. Sound the alarm. It's Apple Zap by Chuckles. Oh, it's Space Zap. There we go. From the arcades. So Space Zap is a title we've seen copied a few times, and we had an official port on the Bally Astrocade home console. I'm not aware of this one. And it's fun that they did Apple Zap, because obviously Apple Panic took Space Panic in the arcades, and they made it Apple Panic. So, I mean, if you got Space Zap, just make it Apple Zap. All right, ready? Oh, nice. Okay, so we get to redefine keys. This one's keyboard only. I want that one to be up, down, left, and right. And then we want fire. This is really good. Games that start to do this are extremely helpful. Whenever you get to the other micros in the UK, please let us redefine the keys to how we want them. Are our choices satisfactory? Yes, yes they are. Oh, great. Yeah, after you redefine the keys, it's exactly how you want it to play. A very well done home port. And another example of, most people don't catalog the computer games whenever they go through the history of video games. And this is another one that is a recreation of the arcade game Space Zap. So good, too. And I bet I could switch to joystick if I wanted to with Control-I. But keyboard's working great. I got to redefine the keys. I didn't try with the joystick using the redefine, because most of the time when you see that for home computers, it's redefining the keyboard controls, not the joystick controls. Oh yeah, it works great. Oh yeah, very well done. And that's the second game in the pack. These are all fantastic. To my knowledge, none of these were released commercially individually. They were only through here, the Laf Pak. All right, so let's go Space Race. What's that one like? We got 2 exceptional games, especially for 1981, and now the third. All right, so this one that'll use the paddle controls. Okay, it is piloting your ship to the top of the screen, not being attacked by the tiny phoenixes. We got to use our imagination here. Let's go. How many players? Oh, you can do 2. Nice. So no one else sit with me. We'll do 1 player. Oh, gosh. Okay, there we go. So I'm on the right side of the screen, crashing terribly. And you're supposed to race the other partner to the top. Go. Wait, why did mine crash? So I'm on the right side of the screen, and the left player is... Oh, that's so tricky to do. But you have paddle controls, and you're just trying to make it to the top. Oh, I see. If the door is shut, you can't go past. That's just cheap. As soon as he comes to the top, he goes... So I'm trying to wait for the door to open. Oh, maybe it'll open for me and just go. Okay, it did. And then you just get points for making it to the top. Almost a reversed way of playing Space Race, which is a really very old 70s arcade game. But done differently. So I wouldn't say not as good as the other titles on here, but still really good one. Really good to play, especially for having this compilation. That's fun too. Chuckles is amazing. And last, maybe the least, hit number 4 for Minesweep. Push that in the fun machine. Let's see if it's part of the Laf Pak that is the best. Oh, okay, it is not Minesweeper. I was thinking it was some puzzle game, because after all, they're arcade games, right? So this one is a recreation of another arcade game called Blasto. If you ever want to know what game we're talking about, you can always go down in the... If you look down in the links below, we have every game we've ever played. Just look up Blasto, you can see what it's like. Looks kind of like this one. Oh, there we go. We want joystick controls. Nice. Okay, so this one, the way it works is you move your way through the area, and when you get to the mine, you'll see what happens. It causes chain reactions. Move the ship around, shoot the mines, cause chain reactions, and don't blow yourself up. Best part of this one, when I saw it in the arcades, was how it caused reactions or multiple explosions. Look at that. And then you gotta clear yourself away. This one doesn't have as many enemies coming flying at us. In the arcades, you can see the enemy crossing our path. That would be your biggest adversary. But, the idea is just go around and blow up all the mines. Easy enough. But fun to shoot off, see the explosions. Another really well done game. It plays like you would have expected from the arcades. Just like Blasto. And if, let's say you're in the arcades, you're playing Blasto, and you're like, this is great, this is my favorite game in the arcades. Most people would never have known this existed on the Apple II to play. Another reason I love doing this is seeing what is out there on the home computer that was created to be an arcade port that most people wouldn't know about. Oh, and the enemy's kind of like the enemy on Centipede that comes and erases the mushrooms or changes the mushrooms, because he just switched an explosive to just one of the normal dots. And these dots aren't anything we're picking up. We're not doing something like Space Invaders. You just move yourself around and you're shooting them. Oh, are we shooting every dot? Oh, gosh. Okay, I believe that's different than the arcade. The arcade was just the mines. Get rid of all the mines and that's it. But shooting every dot, no way. What is it? Okay, our score's still going up. Or maybe you just try to shoot as much as you can before your time goes out. Either way, incredible. Very well done, and for 1981 release, I would say of all the titles you could play, this is one of the best computer games. Having 4 in one very, very good titles, I'm going to go 4.5 stars for Laf Pak. It is a little cheating because, you know, it's a compilation, but you can't get these individually. Laf Pak is one of the best, especially if this is 1981. The first levels is super easy. That's true. They do start that way, and you can see that, especially on the first one, Creepy Corridors, it was getting harder and harder and adding more enemies to the maze. So very, very well done. And after Laf Pak, let's see where we're going now. Oh, it's time to play some Millionaire, the stock market simulation. We have 3 different versions on the Atari 8-bit home computer, the Apple II, and the IBM PC, or MS-DOS, because we all know what's going to happen to IBM PCs. Every PC out there is going to have different architecture, made different ways, so much different hardware, so we just say MS-DOS moving forward. So we're going to be seeing MS-DOS from now all the way until, you know, late 90s. All right, so let's go from the top. Let's play Millionaire, the stock market simulation on your Atari home computer. Taking a look at the box first. Very classy by Blue Chip Software. Nice. I like it. I don't think we have anything else, though, right? Oh, yeah, just a screenshot. And for other versions, this one has a 2-sided disc that you would play on. Let's pop in and play Millionaire by Ron Rosen. Way to go, Ron. And Blue Chip Software in the beginning of May 1982. Now, we've already seen a few stock market simulation games. I'm not expecting too much. This one I've heard is one of the best because of the amount of options you have. All right, there we go. Millionaire. Blue Chip Software. Oh, okay, originally by Jim Zuber. And then the Atari version by Ron Rosen. Do you want to play a new game? Resume playing. Okay, so we want to type new. And we want... Okay, we already created this player before, so we'll do JW. And this is where, if you wanted to make your own player, you just push enter, create the player that you want, and then you can keep playing as this person. It's a nice touch. Very nice touch. Okay, so we want to play as this, and then look at that. The screen's going to be turned off if you didn't read it fast enough. And you have to wait 14 minutes. That's correct. 14 real-time minutes for the game to load. I haven't subjected my viewers to the horrors of loading in the early 80s, and I hope to not ever do that. We are fast-forwarding right now. We are not waiting a full 14 minutes to play the stock market simulation game. There we go. That was a lot faster. Okay, turn the disc over, press any key to continue, and then we're going to flip our disc to the side B, and go. And of course, if you did it in real life, it would be a little bit more time consuming. One of the reasons why console gaming is more prevalent, because most people don't want to have to deal with the cassette tapes and the discs, flipping them over to the right side and so forth. Any day now. This might be the... Oh, it is. We got it in. All right, kids, do you like bar graphs? Do you like line plotting? Oh, then this is the game for you. Press the key to continue. This is meant to be a game, so it's really not software. I could understand your parents buying this to try to get better at the stock market, but it's meant to be fun, believe it or not. All right, press the key to continue. Nice. So it's showing us what the stock market looks like now. There's the computer industry. Oh, going up for now. And the Financial Journal tells us what's new. Mobile oil experienced surprisingly high volume in today's market. Okay, thanks, Financial Journal. Whenever I was testing this for the show and played, it said Tandy Computers is up at high marks, which I thought was kind of funny. All right, so we have just a bunch of stats, spreadsheets, 10 losers, 5 winners this week. Market lost 14 points. Average share loss was 0.97. Darn, bad day in the stock market. You see TDY is Tandy, and you would need the manual to play this one because you need to know what code is for each company. And so this one is, we played other stock market simulation games. This one's very, very detailed. This would be if you're really wanting to play an exceptional stock market game. So you can see now we have menu selection where we can display graphs, the journal, stock options, stock portfolio. We can also buy things, sell things, borrow against net worth, advance to next week. And you can see this is the idea of the game. You're just trying to make selections, make decisions, and it's a turn-based game. The only other thing, too, that's different about this one is it's one player only. You do not select multiple people and play with people and take turns. It is one player only. I would say that that's the biggest against this game, but I've been told this is the most detailed at the time for a stock market simulation. Hopefully your parents didn't buy this for you to hopefully get you better at the stock market. I don't know if there is. I don't know if that'd be fun or not. Would Bitcoin be more fun if it was a modern day Millionaire? All right, so I'll read them all at the same time. There's the Atari 8-bit version. We have next the Apple II version. Apple II version loads even slower than the other one. And you see we have a manual for this one, but I honestly don't want to go in the manual. It's 28 pages long. It has a really nice front of the manual. If you've ever got a legit copy of this, I've only seen scans for it, but it is it looks like a portfolio. It's made gold over the top just like this. Very, very nice. But I won't go into it. We're not reading 28 pages of stock market simulation. Let's pop in and play Millionaire, the stock market simulation for the Apple II. Let's go. If I really would play this game, before I go back in time, I'd be buying as much stock as I can or selling as much stock as I can from the Atari computers. Get in now before it's too late. Do you want to play a new game? And we want to do new. Oh gosh, you can't type in. You have to type NEW to play a new game. So this is the original one by Jim Zuber. Way to go, Jim. Lots of time spent to make this an exceptional stock market simulation game. So we want to do player 2. Enter a number. Got to do 17. So this one has a random seed applied to it. And here's where we stop. We're not going to play anymore because it says 6 minutes. But man, oh man, even when I fast forward this thing to 600%, it still takes 2 minutes live. So we are not playing any more of the Apple II version of Millionaire, the stock market simulation game. This one's still one player. All 3 versions are. And here we go on our IBM PC, Millionaire, the stock market simulation for MS-DOS. So another one, I don't think, yeah, we still have a sort of box. You can see it looks pretty nice. And I'd love to know if there was more feelies inside than just a manual and some of the paperwork, registration cards, and so forth. Because it looks like it was a large box that had a lot inside, but I couldn't confirm that. Let's pop it and play Millionaire, the stock market simulation for your IBM PC. Oh, nice. Higher resolution. Okay, new. Does in work? Oh, you got to type in new, not just in. Oh, lots of people were put in this one. Let's go. I want to do new player. Oh, sit back and relax. Oh, gosh. So the other thing, too, is because of how complicated it is, lots of things it has to think about, and the game takes a while to load. This one's saying 4 minutes, but it still is another one that takes so long, even on fast forward. So we booted up and we played. We finished our quota of playing every single video game, including stock market simulation games. But I'd say for all these titles, the one-player option is what kind of chinks it for me. I'm going to say it's a bad title. I'll say 2 stars. If you can't play with other people, even a stock market simulation game, you got to be really hard-pressed and really wanting to play a stock market game. So we'll go 2 stars all around. MS-DOS, Apple II. You're willing to throw out your rating that you would say for a stock market simulation game, but I'm going to still say it's bad. Of all the other computer games you could play at the time, a one-player stock market simulation, I guess practice if you're a businessman at home. Oh, yeah, there you go. Chiptune's saying 1, so I'm with you there. All right, and with that, let's go to our next game. Oh, yes, here we go. This is on the Apple II. And I bring you Minotaur, another title, don't believe the date at the bottom, actually came out in 1981. We saw this in Softline magazine, and I didn't get this one because it got lumped together with 2 other games that have the word Minotaur in them from 1981 and 1982. So this one almost got lost. Oh man, am I glad it's not lost. Let's take a look at Minotaur, starting with the box. So this one's done by Serious Software. Yeah, like in the maze, going to fight the Minotaur. Flip it over in the back, you can see this is programmed by Larry Miller. 48K, and it was done with assembly language. 48K still, so not 64. The highest memory we've seen so far on computer games is 64K, needed to play any game. But this one uses the Joy port. Very nicely done artwork by Serious Software. Let's see what other images we have for Minotaur. Yes. But this one is an action game, unlike the one we saw on Sierra Online. Theseus and the Minotaur is the one we played, was the text adventure game. And this one is action. Minotaur, there you go, 1981 Serious Software. So glad we didn't miss this one. The Minotaur versus Icarus. Wouldn't he just fly away? I don't know if we'll be able to either. So let's pop in and play some Minotaur on your Apple II by Larry Miller and Serious Software. It's the beginning of May 1982. Or, sorry, it's 1981. I always forget. When we have to go back in time to get a game we almost missed. If there's any games that you haven't seen yet, or you've checked out our link down below of everything we played up to this point, and you say, well, what about such and such? Let me know. I don't want any game to be forgotten, especially when we go too far in the future. Like when I get to the 90s, if someone says, hey, you forgot that game from 1978, it won't be as good or as fun. This one's actually pretty close. What in the world are we seeing? You, Theseus, must kill the Minotaur. Wow. Okay, it's starting off as a track mode. There's mini mazes. Each has 4 floors. Wow. It's an instruction. And it's showing off some of the different floors you can play on. To aid you are wings for flight. Look at the scaling here of the full maze. Clubs to batter down walls. And there's the example of the club down below. Elixir for temporary ethereality. I've never heard of that one. Does that mean invulnerability? The status no one's heard of in a video game. Temporary ethereality. Oh, man. Temporary ethereality. And more. Please see the folder. And this is a title I couldn't find manual or paperwork for. So Minotaur possibly is a really obscure title for the Apple II. Love that we can catalog and showcase it here on the channel. There you go. Serious Software. Okay, we're ready to play. Let's go. Start. Hope I'm not dying. Okay, I'm not dying. I have to hit spacebar. Okay, so to play this one, it is not Joyport only. At least it's not responding, but it does work correctly. There we go. Nice. Wow, look at that. The graphics mode they're doing, the reason they can scale... They die so fast. The reason you can scale so well is because you notice how my character is made up of several different shapes and colors. It's a very unique... God, you die so fast. It's a very unique way to show to play the game, but it allows you to have a very large enemies on the screen and lots of different types. You can see, I guess that's a scorpion that's up there. And as per usual on the Apple II, I'm trying to make my way through the maze. I'm dying a lot. And the sound, there's no music or sound effects. It's just walking around. But remember, this is 1981. Look at this. Oh, that's true. You could base this or make this look like a vector-based game, like Major Havoc. Yeah. That's a good point. You want to get into your mythology history. Bring it on. I love it. Thanks, Chiptune. Ethereal. Yes, that's what it is. To pass through the walls. Wait, am I passing through the walls right now? Am I temporary ethereal right now? No, I don't think so. So the way I'm controlling this is left and right, and then A and Z to move up and down. And the way I fire is just spacebar, but oh my gosh, I'm dying a lot. If you look at the top of the screen, it shows us what our score is, the floor. There we go. That's how I can stop moving. How many wings we have, the maze, how many clubs and elixir, and lives. I have 86 lives. What in the world? All right, so let's make our way through here. You can see... I see why there's so many lives. Is that the developer's way of saying you're going to just die a lot? And rather than change the balance of the game, just give us, 90-something lives. Every enemy I come across, I've been dying. Let's see what this is. Anything? Oh, it looks like I was stuck. Oh, I see. Whenever you go, when you push you can only go left and right, up and down. But if you go, if you push the slash, which is usually up, it actually stops your character. This is incredible, though. A top-down maze almost makes me feel like a little playing Berserk. But I don't have an 8-way shot. I can only shoot in 4 directions. Let's go ahead and grab one of the clubs there. But the graphics mode is awesome. I can only think of one other title that's done this graphics mode, but they did it as more of a space combat game. You know, the first-person perspective style. Star Raiders, a la Star Raiders. So there we go. Now we're on to floor 2. Made our way around. It's eerily quiet. And it kind of reminds you that we're in 1982. We're not getting music being played in the background. So this is it. We're playing the game on our Apple II. And the experience of playing the game is it. There is no atmosphere or music. Couldn't do it, but I mean, look at this. Look how many times I'm dying. All right, we'll go down the south way this time. Yeah, there's not a zoom out key. I wasn't able to find a manual or a flyer for this one. I'd love to know if there is other controls. Oh, it's a dead end. Okay. Yeah, I'm amazed. Minotaur is a fantastic title, and for 1981, it's doing so many things that are fun and correct. This one would be a great game to play for a long time if you had an Apple II and this was your only title. And I've only played this a couple times. The maze that I'm playing is not the same maze. This is, I believe it's creating a different maze every time you play, so it's also random, which is another tip in its hat. It's so good. Oh yeah, I can see the Gauntlet vibes. I always picture with a Gauntlet game, it has to have a base or a generator for enemies to be a Gauntlet style game. But yeah, look how many enemies we got. This is like Gauntlet. Just no generator making everybody that's out here. Look at this. Gosh, and there's so many enemies that are moving. We can already see a little bit of slowdown. What is it I'm shooting to? I am, if I'm Icarus or Theseus, am I shooting a laser? It's like a mixture of a space game. But whatever, it is fun. Oh man, I only have 89 lives left. Maybe the maze is vector-based, and that's why they were able to get the recreating different levels. Every time I die, it's like no big deal. Just keep moving. Look at that. Just die, and just keep moving. He's a pro. He is the toughest character we've ever played. Look at that. Look at that. Giant enemies on the screen. Scaling, slightly looks like they're scaling in and out. Seeing the map scale blew me away. It almost looked like Mode 7 on the Super Nintendo. And that's not new. We've seen scaling before on the Coco. Wow. It is eerie with the no sound. But yeah, I want to play more of this one. A big reason why we rate games higher here on the channel is if the game is something I want to play after this. After we showcase, give it a little idea of how the game is on the live stream, then I want to just play more later. And Minotaur is definitely one of those. And we also have some power-ups, too. So at the top of the screen, there's wings. So if you find wings, you can fly out over the top of the maze, which I'd love to see. Yeah, so I can't do the clubs to go through walls, but can I do... Yeah, so I can't do the wings yet until I find those. So great. Well, the gameplay is kind of similar to Berserk, how you move around. It is keyboard only. Joystick wasn't, the Apple II joystick wasn't working for me. Oh, gosh. And it does feel like I'm slightly clipping through walls. Almost like we're pushing the Apple II a little too hard. Like it's not meant to do this. But still awesome. I would say this is still one of the best titles that you would be able to play in 1981. Your ability to explore. You can see now we're on floor 3. Finding your way around the maze that changes every time. And then finding the power-ups and learning to use them too. So cool. All right, so everyone that's here for the live show, now is your chance. Throw out your ratings. For all computer games you could play at the time, I would consider this one of the best titles, or one of the best games you could play. Anyone want to throw out your 5-star rating for Minotaur? This one is, I would say, an exceptional game. The exploration, the graphic style being used almost like a vector-based game when that didn't exist on the Apple II. It's done really well. Yeah, right? It's not designed to do that either. We saw some scaling on the Coco, and for the Apple II to do this is very impressive. Yeah, I was going to go 4.5 stars as well. Yep, Chiptune's going 4, 4.5 there. I'm going to go 4.5 stars. I consider this one of the best computer games that you could have played. Minotaur. Check it out on the Apple II. All right, and with that, let's move on to the main event for May. Yeah.
A fly.
A fly.
I'll have a mutant fly.
Ooh,
Hello,
yeah.
Yar.
Hello, Yar.
You'll need some protection. Ion zone.
Nice.
Shift chroma. Intensify.
Here we go.
You'll need some weapons.
Show off the code.
You have a formidable enemy. The Cotile.
The Cotile.
Watch it, Yar. He has a lethal drone.
This was in movie theaters? I did not know that.
Go.
It makes sense, though. It's epic.
Good move, Yar.
When I played Atari games, this is how I felt. I want to sit in my chair and do exactly what this guy's doing.
Use it, Yar.
Why is that not Howard Scott Warshaw sitting in the chair?
Got him. That's revenge. Yars Revenge.
Yars
A video
Revenge.
game. Yeah, this can be fun. This can be a lot of fun. Like asteroids.
Oh, there we go. Yep, they're showing off more by Atari.
Beautiful. Watch it. Disintegrate. Now let's go into deeper space.
Oh, interesting.
Galactic
Its
map.
production value is so good. Oh, now they're switching it up to Star Raiders?
Hyperspace.
Oh, very cool.
Sights in.
Well, now I want to see this in movie theaters. Why are we watching this on a live stream?
Stand by. Photons.
Look at that. Oh, yeah.
Star Raiders.
Now, at this point, we haven't seen Star Raiders released for the Atari 2600. It is really close, though.
Let's see what we can come up with next.
Yeah.
We're Atari. We have the vision, and we invented the technology to bring the excitement.
Yes, it sounds like it should be. Flying enemies through the surround sound?
We are on a quest in space.
This one was not in movie theaters.
Up the Cotile's base, but watch out, we are.
He knows where you are. Yars Revenge is new from Atari.
Gosh, you give the kids
Have you
cookies
played
too?
Atari today?
With ion zones
No
and
way.
evil drones, there's nothing else like Yars Revenge, the way out space game that's new from Atari. Who else?
Someone needs to call that mom out. No. Sorry. That's not the way to do it. You don't give your kids cookies and play Atari at the same time. No mom ever did that. That's ridiculous.
A mutant fly.
All right, we're here at the seminal release of Yars Revenge on the Atari 2600. Let's pop in and see what it's all about. Starting with the box. Yars Revenge. The seminal front of the box. Man, taking that insect concept and space sci-fi. So cool. Artwork's done very well, as usual, on the Atari. Flip it over on the back of the box. We're playing this on the original Atari controller. One joystick, one button. Journey to the Razak solar system and help the Yars battle an evil enemy. For 1 or 2 players, which I believe it's alternating play. So it's not playing at the same time. But hey, look, there's a little bear in the top right corner. So that means it's suitable versions for young children that want to play Yars Revenge, like the kids in the commercial. I don't think they were getting very far in that game either, because when I played Yars Revenge, I didn't have the manual originally. And so whenever I popped in and played it, I had no idea what was going on. I just loved flying around and shooting and didn't know the skill or concept of the game. Let's see what other artwork we have for Yars Revenge. Besides the box, we also have the advertising flyer by Atari. Yeah, same artwork we saw before with a really tiny example of the screenshot down below. And the cartridge will be popping in. Yars Revenge. The very first release by Howard Scott Warshaw. Let's see what the manual has for us, because you know their story. You know he wrote something. What is going on with Yar? Why does he need revenge? So many questions, so many questions. So here we go, terminology, because they got a lot of weird stuff here. Yar is the fly that you're playing. The energy missile is what's shot by Yar, or that's basically your bullets. The Cotile, the laser-based and object on the right side of the screen behind the shield. You have the energy shield protecting the Cotile, composed of cells, and then the cells is the shield, which is composed, okay. Then you have destroyer missiles, guided missiles that put out the Cotile to destroy Yars. So that's the one that's following you around. Night Shift. Oh, maybe it did. Before that movie, that'd be so cool. There's the Zorlon cannon, which is I love that idea. Whenever I found that out, that you had an enemy or a way to destroy the Cotile by destroying it. Yeah, that's a good call out, because this box that I showed off was one of style of boxes. I found four styles of boxes for Yars Revenge. So there could be lots of different ones, especially on the region you're in. We have the whirling pinball pinwheel fired by the Kotal to destroy Yars. That's the one that goes really fast. Then we have the neutral zone, the colorful glittering path down the center of the playfield. When you're in there, Yars cannot operate fire commands, can't be harmed, but you can be destroyed by the swirl. So how do you play this? The object of the game is to break a path through the shield, destroy the Kotal with a blast from the Zorlon cannon. The secondary objective is to score as many points as possible. Hey, so one of the very first games we've seen where the main objective is not score as many points as possible. Usually we see that from the games in the 80s, but this one is your primary objective is destroy the Kotal. And it has figure 1 for objects and everything. The shield's on the red area around the Kotal base. It appears in one of two shapes, as an arch or a shifting rectangle. The shield's made up of cells. The Yar scouts can destroy these by firing at them with energy missiles, or devouring them on direct contact. You can actually run into the shield and eat them. This is the waste of a powerful weapon. Or you can use the Zorlon cannon to demolish cells, but they say it's a waste. To learn how to control Yar and other aspects, read Section 3 with a controller. Here we go with a screenshot, but not a real screenshot. I think it's construction paper. They must have done something to make that happen. It did? No way. That is hilarious. Bad reviews from Yars Revenge? I would consider this one of the best titles you could play on a home console. So our screenshot shows us the Zorlon cannon on the far left side, the neutral zone. There's Yar, the shield, the destroyer missile, and the swirl. Once a path has been cleared, the Zorlon cannon has to be destroyed to destroy the Kotal. So you can't destroy it with anything. The normal shots won't work. You have to use the Zorlon cannon. It appears on the left side of the playfield and moves in a direct line with Yar. It means that Yar is in its line of fire. It's important, therefore, to aim the cannon at the Kotal and then fly out of the way. The destroyer missile comes in more or less constant stream, one at a time. Yar has to do his best to dodge them, and every now and then the swirl is just going to fly across the screen really fast. And then the more points you get by, I think, blowing up the shield, and you just continue to play and rack up the points. The glittering path down the center is the neutral zone. This protects you from destroyer missiles, but not from swirls. Still got to dodge those. And there's our joystick. They didn't give us those simple controls where the arrow points at the one button to play. But there you go. You just need the Atari joystick. How do you control Yar? Move the joystick around to fly around. Use the red button to fire. You can also use the red button to fire the Zorlon cannon. It's used to restart after the game's played. Is there any other controls? Because, yeah, you can only use the left controller jack, and then when you play a two-player game, it's just alternate play. No two-player simultaneous for Yars Revenge. And we have game variations, though. The reset switch is how you play, as with most Atari games. The difficulty switches, it looks like A and B does normal play, and then A is for skilled. Okay, so you can switch it, and it makes the swirl go even faster across the screen if you make the difficulty switch in A. And the Zorlon cannon, destroyer, missile touch, they will destroy each other. There we go. So two-player uses that. So on the console itself had the difficulty switches, and that just tells you what it does. Now, if you have color or black and white, that's all it does still. I'm waiting for that Atari game to be where you use the color switch to actually do something in the game besides switch from black and white and color. Hasn't happened yet. So here's our game variations. We have 7 different ones. The simple version's game 0 for young children to play. Has a slow destroyer missile, so those young children can play it. Okay, I need to check out Electronic Games October then. We'll be getting there. We'll see that issue. We'll see him bash on Yars Revenge. Terrible, just terrible. There's the normal game is game 2. The two-player version's game 0. So it's two-player, but it's still alternating play. Game 3 is the two-player version of that. Game 4, game features Zorlon cannon that bounces off the shield. There's 2 shield configurations plus destroyer missile and a swirl traveling at normal speeds. And then game 6 and 7 are Ultimate Yars. Features bouncing Zorlon cannon, usual twists. So it's just changing difficulties, what the game variations do. And it has a few changes with the gameplay. Just a little bit, little tweaks here and there. And there's our scoring. What are those points? If you destroy a swirl, I think you can do it with the Zorlon cannon. Nice. High score game features. There we go. What happens whenever you get those scores, and what changes in the game. And then we have some helpful hints, as usual, on the Atari manual. Love those. Yes, that's true. Yars is so popular. As far as the culture of video games, it has the music, it has the song. It also has a comic book. It has its own novel. There's a lot that you can find and search with Yars, and Yars is still active today. There's games with Yars now. Yars is the best, well, I would say, one of the most popular flies in video games. What is this? Mission log. Oh, that's hilarious. All right, there we go. All right, enough chit-chat. For other versions, we have the European version, the hacked version, Yar versus Yar, and then Yar's Defeat that were also available. We're going to pop in the first one in North America, It is May 3rd, 1982, by Howard Scott Warshaw and Atari, Yars Revenge. So exciting. This one is the kind of game that when you think of the creativity of video games, this game comes to mind, and that's why we saw in the ad, Atari was showcasing, hey, we at Atari, we have the vision. We're the smartest ones out there. And there's even ads around the same time that say no one can stop, or no one can beat us at our own game for Atari. Oh, and there's also the Easter egg, that's right. Not as popular as, the adventure one, but still up there. All right, so we're going to start with game modes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and then they have the kid mode. Let's go base game, the normal game. Game 2, and let's go. We're in. So on the left side of the screen, I am Yar, firing off tiny little bullets on the side. All right, I avoided the swirl. Nice move, Yar. The Kotile has what looks like a missile, very slow missile that's following me around. You can see it's getting closer and closer. And you can even get close and eat away at the shield. I love that idea. Makes you feel like you are an insect. And if you see, when you get to the far right side of the screen, now the Zorlon cannon shows up on the far left side. So as soon as you want to fire, you gotta shoot the shot. Boom! Blow up the Kotile and then do a little victory dance with Yar. Shows you your points. Oh, I hit reset on accident. Darn! We gotta keep the points going. Yes, I agree. The quality control is what really killed it. And I'm hoping we can see the crash here on the channel. Playing every single game in order, is it going to be apparent? Is it going to be really noticeable? Oh, I was going to say, where'd you go, buddy? Okay, there's my cannon. Pop it. Oh, I missed it. Try again, dude. Another one. Yeah, there we go. Very similar to Missile Command. I love the full screen effects of this game. Like whenever you die in Missile Command, it blows up. It says the end. The full screen effects and sound effects also is what sets Yars apart. And then obviously the creativity. Look at this. I have the neutral zone or safe zone. It really gets you in the mood of playing an in-depth sci-fi game. Now, would you say that the lore of the game also is what helped Yars Revenge, or I guess made Yars Revenge have the longevity it has? Because at this point, there's not a lot. Oh, I missed on that one. There's not a lot of games, at least for the console sci-fi games or the arcade space games, that include a lot of lore. Oh, they got me on that. The missile got me. I would say the lore slightly would help Yars Revenge, but it wasn't necessarily what sold it. I'd say the gameplay. I would say it's because Howard Scott Warshaw wanted to try something and do something different for a space shooter, and succeeded. So you notice I have to just fly over the Kotile, and then the Zorlon cannon shows off on the far left side, and then you just gotta aim it, and yeah, and then do a dance. Always. Oh yeah, now obviously the game is going to get progressively harder and harder. It shows our lives at the bottom of the screen, and the swirls come faster and faster. I really enjoyed the balance of the game. They do give us different game variations, but how well it works to start with an easy difficulty or easy way to play, and then progressively gets more and more difficult. Oh, I missed it. Let me try it again. Nice and easy. Yeah. And then the fun of going farther and farther. How many times can you play rack up the score and still enjoy yourself and have a good time? That would mark an excellent console game at this point in 1982. Yeah, we are in 1982 after playing 2 games from 1981. We really are. Trust me. All right, here we go. Going in again. Let's see, time this right. Oh, I just broke apart the side. Try it again. Okay, see, it's rebuilding, and I have the wraparound too. You can go to the top and bottom of the screen. And Yar also, one of the things I love about it is on the Atari joystick, the control of Yar is done so well. Because it feels more, you can see how I'm flying around. It has better control than I'd say Asteroids because of the way that you move. I have 8-way controls. So much. Get him. Oh, you're so close. I believe that is... Okay, we still got one more life. All right, I'm going full in for Yars Revenge. Of all the console games you could play up to this point, think of the console including Magnavox Odyssey, Bally Astrocade, and Television. Every game you could play on other consoles, I consider this one of the best console games you could play at this point in 1982. That blows me away that we're going to get to... Oh, blows me away. That we're going to get to Electronic Games and they're going to give this one bad ratings. Oh, yeah, not giving them credit, definitely. Yeah, the box art is a really good sell for this one as well. I mean, how many boys want to play with, you know, insects? Space mutated insects flying around shooting stuff. It's awesome. Yeah, not even close. So there you go. That's Yars Revenge. I'm going full gamut of all the games you could play on a home console. This is one of the best. Anyone wants to throw out some votes? Did you play Yars Revenge back whenever it first was released? Did you play it later? Did you agree with some of the other reviews at the time, or did you like it yourself? I'm going to go 4.5 stars for Yars Revenge. One of the best titles you could play on a home console. Only thing I would say against it is not simultaneous multiplayer and the game modes. It's not multi-screened, but it's still an exceptional game for the time. One of the best. All right. On that note, we reached the end of our gameplay. And go ahead and push pause on your home console. Hit escape key or break key. We are done for this evening, but lots more games to come in 1982. That is it for today. And like I always say, if you want to get really good at space shooter games in 1982, just keep pushing fire. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are Perpetually Retro, and we will catch you next time.